Hello everyone, and welcome to the Battle of the Titans. I am here in what is somehow still only the quarterfinals, because of the way that they readjusted playoffs this season, playing against PoppinPhresh, the commissioner, the individual who runs the league at this point. They are known by many names. I found out recently that their name is a reference to the Pillsbury Doughboy, which is apparently a character that sells donuts, I think? I didn't actually follow up on what Pillsbury is. It sounds like a brand of beer, but I don't think that's what it is. I was referred to that title and was reminded of the Simpsons scene, in which Mr. Burns believes that Homer is, in fact, the Pillsbury Doughboy, and pokes him in the eye a bunch. So yes, this is against who is currently the second highest rated player in the season, after myself, who is undefeated at 7-0. This is at 6-1 with 9 points, which is above my 8 points, because that's how many 2-0 victories Poppin has pulled off this season. This is the only player left who has a higher points. I don't actually know what we call those, but you get, points, I think it is. You get 2 points for winning 2-0. Most of my games went 2-1, so I only got 1 point for most of my games. So here I am, trying to defeat someone that some people have suggested may have had an even better season than I. The only other player who had more points than me at the end of the season was Heaven at 6-1-10, and Heaven already lost in the first round of playoffs, so that leaves me with just this matchup, and I will pretend that that is the reason I picked this matchup. Also, I've been having last minute thoughts about some stuff, which I will do. I do plan on changing. I don't really know what I'm changing them to, which everyone knows is great. Actually, no, I've got an idea. Yeah, I think the idea is reasonable. Alright, so Zumai. Yes, Mono Dragon matchup. They have, two of their first 3 picks was their Steel type and their Fairy type. So, that is somewhat annoying, right? They do also have Throh with White Guard. Everyone knows that is the next Pokemon that people look at on this team after Jirachi and Superior. After Jirachi and Azumarill isn't Superior, it isn't Exard, it isn't Gold Trace, it's Throh. So yes, Throh, White Guard. But look at this team, right? They're Superior, who I would say is traditionally not very good into many of the Pokemon that I have access to in this build. It's possible that's not. I'm making decisions that you guys can't even see what decisions it is that I'm making. But I am making these decisions. It's important to note. I don't really love that. I'm making some very last minute Terra changes in the background. Sorry guys. Yes. So this has been a season of Poppin's where Poppin has had, as we mentioned, a very dominant season. One where the Jirachi support has been used very effectively to enable Gold Trace, to enable Exard, to enable Mudsdale, and to enable Azumarill, as well as Nihilego. That's another big Pokemon that has been pretty effectively enabled by my opponent's Jirachi this season. So I've been to think about how I can best keep up pressure in ways which either is able to isolate the Jirachi very efficiently, or are able to resolve the threats around the Jirachi through the use of spread moves, or otherwise sort of disabling the Jirachi from its effectiveness. Generally that's going to be through spread where I can do it. But yes, that unfortunately they also have to do that against me, but they don't have to, they don't have a Jirachi, I don't have a Jirachi, sorry. I don't have any redirection, so they have, I would say, somewhat less of a challenge in terms of their team building, but luckily I, in general, have a speed advantage in this team, with, Dragapult being faster than the entire team, Naganadel being faster than a lot of the team, and then every Pokemon is just slow. Something which is somewhat annoying for me, and I haven't really figured an amazing way to deal with, is the Mudsdale. Mudsdale can be a bit annoying here. It's fine. But yeah, Superior, I don't know, I've got a lot of Pokemon which like, sorry, I have a lot of dragon types, which means a lot of their Pokemon should traditionally struggle into a lot of my Pokemon. I'm actually changing my mind. Okay, I think they've already challenged me. Either that or it's a warning that this server's about to go down. Poppin has already challenged me. Okay. I should show you my team. Alright, let's turn off this one. Okay, so here we are. Life Orb, Dragapult, Shadow Ball, Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump is for Mudsdale and Nihilego. Shadow Ball is good into every Pokemon except Goltrace, which I have the Thunderbolt there for. I've got a Scarf, Terra Fairy, Tatsugiri. The Terra Fairy is to be able to just hit the Goltrace for decent damage. And it's like fine into a lot of the rest of the team. And then Draco and Hydro Pump are the big damage numbers. Icy Wind is support, but like one of the mons I would love to speed drop is Superior, which is contrary, so I'd actually give it a speed boost. Then here I have a Bandit Zygarde. I have been like thinking about what this Terra should be a lot. It's currently staying ground because I don't think they're likely to bring Water Move on Azumarill, and they may not bring Grass Move on Superior besides Leech Seed. But it's honestly been a few different ones. Like I was looking at Fairy, I was looking at a few different things. My Dondozo was, until like 2 seconds ago, Terra Poison. I've changed it to Terra Electric so that I get immune to Glare from Superior. But maybe it should be Poison. The reason that it has to be one of a few different types is I want the super effective Terra Blast into Azumarill. This allows me to get a one-shot into Azumarill with the Terra Blast, right? Maybe I do have to be Poison. It's really annoying. One shot into a Max Fizz Def Azumarill after I get the boost, and if I have that, it can't click Perish Song. Perish Song otherwise is pretty effective into Dondozo because it already can't switch itself Perish Traps. And then I've got Liquidation to deal with Mudsdale. I've got Order Up, which allows me some scaling with the attack boosting Tatsugiri, and I have Earthquake as an efficient spread move. Here I have Naganadel, and I'm going to put it back to Terra Electric. I briefly put it to Terra Ground. I don't know, I've just been... the Terra is only here so that I can't get Thunder Wave by Jolteon at lead to prevent Tailwind. But yes, I've got Draco, Sludge Bomb, and Flamethrower. Sludge Bomb and Draco are pretty good damage-wise generally. Flamethrower hits the Steel types. Sludge Bomb hits the Fairy types, which is predominantly Jirachi and Azumarill, but can also include other Pokemon. Any other Pokemon if they Terra into types that resist it. And then Draco is just a good generic move. This does get the speed boost, which is fine. Obviously you prefer special attack boost where you can, but speed boost is definitely still just fine. And then lastly I have Ampharos, who is able to take advantage of Tailwind with Discharge, Dragon Pulse, Thunderbolt, and it does have access to that Protect. Oh, Poppin cancelled. Alright, okay, there we are. Alright. Good luck, have fun. They brought Duskull. Okay, that's interesting. This is a fairly, like, Trick Room-y build, I guess, then, right? Duskull's Terra Steel. The Azumarill is also Terra Steel. I wish I was Terra Poison. Terra Steel. Okay, well, Jirachi seems insane here because everything is Terra Steel. Okay, so what didn't come that we expected? I mean, we don't really expect anything is the problem. No Nihilego, no Goth, no Throh. So the top 5 and Duskull. Charizard's a bit odd in general, but also in this matchup. I think I'm going to go for the Zygarde Naganadel lead. The other lead version is the Dondozo one. I may even bring Dondozo in the back, but I think for in a future game, but I'll just bring the other 4 for now. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I can't say I expected Duskull. It has Frisk. That's broken. That means they know what items I have. That's so rude. The Jirachi's Terra Water, which is interesting. As is the Mudsdale. So that's obviously resisting the water. I used to be Terra Blast Electric. Okay. Interesting. I really want to click Terra Ground, Thousand Arrows, and still Flamethrower the Azumarill. Flamethrower the Azumarill, I guess. Let's put the version of the build which is max HP in. I just don't expect them to run a water move here. So I feel reasonably safe going for the Terra Ground, Thousand Arrows. And I can use Tailwind here, because that will give me speed control. That will allow my Zygarde to move before Charizard. I'm glad I have Thunderbolt against the Terra Waters. I sort of assumed that Charizard is not going to Terra this turn, so that it stays neutral to Thousand Arrows instead of weak to it. Maybe they do run Water Move on Azumarill. What would be the worst? Like a Dragon Claw and Play Rough into Zygarde? Going for Terra Dragon limits the impact of such a play. Terra Steel would be cool, because if they're max HP in Terra Steel, I have a chance to KO without Terra, and I am Terraing, so... I guess it'd be annoying if they Belly Drum. Maybe they like Fire Spin Perish Song? I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what the plans with this lead is. I didn't bring Dragon Cheer this set either. I keep having sets where I don't bring Dragon Cheer, even though it's fun. Yeah, it doesn't quite have enough damage to knock out a, Never mind, Charizard's probably fainted this turn. Okay, 80%, 0 bulk. Cool. Life Orb. Okay, so that means Aqua Jet's actually pretty likely, I think. Alright, I want to go into Dragapult, and I think I'll just Flamethrower the Azumarill. I'm saying that, I'll Flamethrower the Azumarill. I don't think that makes sense. I'm going to go into Dragapult, and I'm going to Draco the Mudsdale. Because they're Life Orb, that's why it doesn't make sense. If they do Aqua Jet into Dragapult, and then they take Life Orb Recoil, then they will faint to the Life Orb. Also, if they like play rough the Naganadel, they'll faint. Okay, very offensive, not max HP. So maybe they are not Trick Room. Interesting. Oh, yeah, definitely not my initial suspicion of how that turn would go. But I would really like to Draco this Mudsdale and see if it's Assault Vest. Like I don't really know what's going on with the Muds here. Okay, Draco. Does that? I think that does mean Assault Vest. Which means it probably takes the Hydro pretty reasonably well, which is unfortunate. I prefer if it didn't. I think what I'm going to do is go for the Protect here, and just put the Flamethrower into Azumarill. Oh, that didn't KO. That's fine. It died to its own recoil. Okay. Well, that's really weird. I don't think anyone expected that this time. I don't actually know if I have a great play here. Duskull is definitely an odd mon in this spot, because I'm gonna get knocked out by the Earthquake. So I think I have to go for the Hydro Thousand Arrows play. Okay. Let's see if the 13... surely it does 13. Banded Terra Ground. Okay, it did do 13. I have no idea. Okay, so it's Levitate, right. I did know that it was Levitate because it didn't do the... the other thing. I already revealed Protect, right? I'm gonna reveal Protecting. I'm gonna Protect again, GG. Okay. That was a really weird game. So the Azumarill's fast. I wonder if they clicked Tailwind with Charizard. Do you think I would let you get a KO for free there? I don't even know how much HP. Yeah, they both lived. Alright. Good luck and fun too. Okay. Is that a game that you adapt after seeing? I wish I had Helping Hand. If I had Helping Hand on the Ampharos. What if I do just go for the Zygarde Ampharos lead though? They're fast. What if I just do the same lead and then see how they adapt? Like, I still had a full health Ampharos in the back. It wasn't amazing into the mods, which, you know, obviously you'd rather be amazing into the mods if you could be. Okay, well, I'm gonna flamethrower the Jirachi and click 1,000 arrows. Maybe I should flamethrower the Duskull? No, it won't die anyway. I could click Glare. The Terra Steel was for Shadow Ball. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Alright, that critical hit will likely not matter. Alright, the good news is, I'm fairly certain that Mega Ampharos is slower than their Azumarill. Bad news is, I'm like still pretty weak to Mudsdale. I don't have Protect on Naganadel. I used to have Protect on Naganadel, but I don't anymore. And I'm regretting not having it anymore. Maybe I should have gone for the Terra Ground. But we know that the Duskull... Sorry. The Duskull in my calc is no bulk, which is obviously a bit obnoxious. It's probably got Wisp, which is pretty bad. I don't know what they're doing. They could double on Naganadel. What it'd be Earthquake plus it'd be Earthquake plus Nightshade into the Naganadel slot, which would be annoying. Okay. I don't know why this came in. Does this mean there's no mods in the pack? That would be weird. It's got Liquidation. Let's go to the previous game. Liquidation picks up my Zygarde from full. They could play rough though? The Terra Steel. I mean, the Tailwind mattered, right? They could always play off plus Nightshade this slot. Should be annoying. Nightshade moves first, which is good. I'm trying to think about how I can, pivot the Zygarde to be able to extreme speed the Azumarill. Did I really do 6% with Flamethrower? 7% with Flamethrower? That was from, Pokemon that actually had Flamethrower. Okay. These Pokemon both have Protect, which means it would be better to have them in. I think I go for Sludge Bomb and I bring in Ampharos. And I just hope that Ampharos takes the hits well, right? I'm not super bulky because I have speed. Yeah, not super bulky at all. But it does look like the Azumarill is very fast, which is theoretically good news for me. Okay, they went for the double. Nope, they did not go for the double. Oh my gosh, they did 1,000,000 damage? They didn't. They in fact did not bring... Well, unfortunately, Ampharos is still going to died a Nightshade. But I feel like I just win with my mons in the back. Like, I feel like even after a burn, the Mega Charizard is not going to take it very well. Alright, I'm going to go for the Draco and Mega Thunderbolt the Duskull. Most likely. Oh, wait, I could have protected. I forgot about that. Wait. Okay, unfortunately, I didn't quite get the KO there. Getting the KO there would have been nice for sure. My opponent was simply too expert in EVing. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it was just a roll. I feel like Terra Water might be better here. Because it will let this mon live. And I don't anticipate you fainting to Breaking Swipe, regardless. I'm trying to think about, do I think that Terra Water Hydro plus E-Speed will knock out? I think I do think that. Oh, but I also think, okay. I also think it's just slower. Yeah, okay. Oh, no! Okay, well that's F. Okay, I mean, it looks like I definitely could have 1,000 arrows then. I think I may lose off that. I kind of expect the Charizard to protect while Duskull Trick Rooms, so I think I have to play around that. I definitely die to Breaking Swipe if they Helping Hand. I don't know that I die if they don't. Okay, good. I made the right play. Oh no, I would have fainted for sure because I take Life Orb. GG's! See, that's what everyone gets for downing my team. Everyone was like, Poppin, very good player. Mostly because Poppin's a very good player. They were like, Poppin, no way that Poppin would ever lose to a Mono Dragon team. And you can tell this is a Mono Dragon team. Dozo never even hit the field. Yeah. Definitely thank you guys so much for watching. I'm very happy to have pulled out a really solid game against Poppin. I will shoot Poppin my paste and hopefully get Poppin's, just to quickly talk over on the video. Modest Ampro still didn't get the KO. Duskull? Is Duskull the #1 player of all time? Is Duskull the MVP? Yeah, very interesting build there. Obviously, you wound up looking like if I just clicked 1,000 arrows, it would have been better. Like 1,000 arrow Shadow Ball. But I wanted to play around. Well, I just wanted the. I wanted to play around the Charizard fainting. Started getting the knockout into my my Pokemon. I'm dying. Like a Helping Hand Dragon Claw would be more along the line that I was worried about, but then why didn't I just Terra Ground? I think that the safer line would have been to go for the Terra Ground version. And I could protect that turn to reduce the damage. Okay. It looks like I may not get a quick base from my opponent while they're doing their own outro, I imagine. But look, I'm very happy to have pulled this out. Could I get your paste for bid? Alright, I've sent them. I've asked them specifically if I can get a copy of that paste. So the reality is, I think maybe Grok, it isn't true. Yeah, I mean, they definitely wound up positioning very, very effectively in the later game. I'm really sad that the Zygarde, the Ampharos didn't pick up. I wonder if they had played it the other way, and something, I don't know. But yeah, if I hit that Hydro, that would have knocked out the Charizard. Charizard and Azumarill both not really having any bulk, wound up limiting what they were able to do with their Charizard and their Azumarill. It's crazy to me that Flamethrower did 7 to the Azumarill. Flamethrower, Solmon 7. I'm so confused by that still, actually. I'm looking at a calc and it says it should be doing 17. I'm so confused by that. Alright, okay. Yeah, definitely, sorry. Definitely, everyone, make sure you go give our Poppin's perspective on this battle a watch. We'll be releasing it. I'm probably going to release it 12 hours later than I ordinarily do, just so it comes out after the playoffs like video stream. I don't actually know who James is doing it with. But yeah, here we go. Here's the paste. Okay. Some have suggested that maybe Grok is this history. I don't think was the Muds shiny? I feel like the Muds wound up being okay. It was shiny. Sorry, that's a reference to Jovial Merriment. Is a reference to horse race testing. It had Fissure. Okay, that might be illegal. Nothing for Banded Guard. I mean, I feel like the Zygarde, the Mudsdale, like, was pretty challenging for me to deal with. So if they brought the Mudsdale in that last game, it may have been a real issue for me, but I'm not sure. Apparently they tunnel visioned on Hoodra, which is crazy, because I thought Hoodra was terrible here. They did have Perish Song on Azumarill. They did not have Aqua Jet. I kept playing around Aqua Jet. Okay, they were Outrage on the Charizard over Dragon Claw. I mean, I think it had Helping Hand Outrage locked into mine, but it wouldn't have fainted if I was Terra Ground, I don't think. I really think I should have just gone for the Terra Ground version of the play. The Dusclops was Haze last. Over Wisp for the big guy, I guess. But yeah. I guess it's the Clops going guy. Bye. Yeah, Goltrace I was very scared of because I had no Goltrace resist, but they just did not wind up hitting the field with it. But yeah, definitely thank you guys all for watching. Incredible to still be taking this run through this season. Goodbye.